You believe that if trading feels like gambling, it must mean you haven't found the right strategy yet. You think the solution is more analysis, more indicators, more screen time. You assume that once you discover the right system, the fear will disappear, the hesitation will fade, and the results will finally stabilize. That belief is comforting, and it is wrong. If trading feels like gambling, it is not because of your strategy. It is because of the way you are thinking while you trade. You are approaching uncertainty with the psychology of someone who needs to be right. And the moment you need to be right, you are no longer trading. You are gambling. I have watched this pattern repeat itself for decades. Different markets, different platforms, different personalities. The surface details change. The internal struggle does not. You enter with confidence. The trade moves against you. Your body tightens. You hesitate to exit. You add to the position, or you close it early. Then you feel regret. Then you try to make it back. The market does not care about your frustration. The market does not care about your need to recover. If you continue to bring a gambler's mindset into a probabilistic environment, you will experience random emotional pain, even if your strategy has an edge. In this video, I am going to show you the precise psychological difference between gambling and professional trading. You will see why your brain keeps pulling you toward destructive behavior. And more importantly, you will understand what must change inside you if you ever want consistency. This is not about finding a better system. It is about becoming a different decision maker. If trading feels like gambling, it is because your brain is treating every trade as a threat. You may not realize it, but beneath the charts and the indicators, your nervous system is reacting as if your survival is on the line. When a trade goes against you, your body produces stress chemicals. Your heart rate changes. Your focus narrows. You stop thinking in probabilities and start thinking in outcomes. You want this trade to win. Not because it fits your plan, but because you need relief. This is loss aversion at work. The brain feels the pain of loss more intensely than the pleasure of gain. A small red number on your screen can feel like a personal attack. Your identity becomes entangled with the result. If the trade loses, it feels like you failed. Now add pattern recognition. Your mind is designed to find meaning quickly. It sees 2 losing trades in a row and begins constructing a story. This strategy doesn't work. Or worse, I can't do this. Your brain wants certainty. It wants control. It wants to predict what happens next so it can feel safe. But markets are uncertain by nature. When your need for certainty collides with an environment that offers none, you experience emotional turbulence. And in that turbulence, you behave like a gambler. Let me give you a simple analogy. Imagine you are driving in heavy fog. You can only see 10 meters ahead. A professional driver accepts the limitation. He slows down. He keeps both hands on the wheel. He understands that limited visibility is part of the environment. Now imagine another driver who hates not seeing the road clearly. He presses harder on the gas, trying to get through the fog faster. He becomes tense. He overreacts to every shadow. He honks at shapes that aren't even cars. The fog did not change. His relationship to uncertainty did. That is what is happening when you trade. The market is the fog. You are trying to force clarity where none exists. And when you cannot force it, you compensate with impulsive behavior. The market does not care about your need for clarity. It simply moves. Until you accept that uncertainty is permanent, not temporary, you will continue to react emotionally to normal market fluctuations. You will call randomness unfair. You will interpret neutral information as hostile. And you will keep feeling like you are gambling. The uncomfortable truth is this: you are not struggling with the market. You are struggling with your brain's survival programming. This is not a strategy problem. It is a perception problem. Now let me describe what this looks like in your actual behavior. Here is what happens first. You hesitate before entering a valid setup. You see your signal. It meets your criteria. But you remember the last loss. Your body tightens. You tell yourself you are being cautious. In reality, you are trying to avoid emotional discomfort. So you skip the trade. And of course that one wins. Now you feel regret. And the next time, you jump in too quickly. Not because it fits your plan, but because you don't want to miss out again. That is not strategy failure. That is fear of loss controlling timing. Let me describe another one. You enter a trade with a predefined stop. You told yourself you would accept the risk, but when price approaches that stop, something shifts inside you. You move it, just a little. You justify it with analysis. The structure is still intact. It might bounce here. What you are really doing is refusing to accept being wrong. You are trying to escape the pain of loss by postponing it. This is gambling psychology. The belief that if you just stay in long enough, the odds will bend in your favor. Here is what happens next. You take profits too early. The moment the trade moves slightly in your favor, you close it. You feel relief, not satisfaction. Relief. Because now the market cannot take it away from you. You are protecting yourself from the emotional swing of giving back unrealized gains. But in doing so, you destroy the positive expectancy of your system. You are not trading your edge. You are trading your comfort level. Let me describe something even more subtle. After a loss, you feel an urge, a quiet pressure. You tell yourself you are simply following the next signal. But your position size increases. Your focus sharpens in a different way. There is tension behind it. You want the market to give back what it took. You want balance restored. The market does not care about your need for revenge. It does not even know you exist. This behavior comes from the same place as a gambler doubling down at a casino table. The emotional drive to recover overrides the probabilistic framework. The decision is no longer neutral. It is reactive. And finally, let me describe the cycle. You spend hours backtesting. You refine rules. You feel confident. Then live trading begins, and your execution changes. Not because the rules changed, but because money introduces emotional significance. The moment the outcome matters personally, your brain shifts from analytical mode to survival mode. You think you lack discipline. What you actually lack is emotional neutrality toward outcomes. Until you separate your sense of self from the result of any single trade, you will continue to oscillate between hope and fear, between hesitation and impulsiveness, between control and chaos. This is why it feels like gambling, because internally, you are seeking certainty in a place where only probabilities exist. There is a deeper truth you must understand. Consistency in trading does not come from predicting outcomes. It comes from accepting them. You have been taught, directly or indirectly, that success means being right more often than you are wrong. In most areas of life, that belief serves you. If you are a surgeon, you must be precise. If you are building a bridge, you cannot tolerate structural failure. But trading is different. In trading, being wrong is built into the structure of the game. Losses are not evidence of incompetence. They are the cost of participation in a probabilistic environment. The moment you internalize this, everything begins to change. Think about a casino. A casino does not care whether the next hand of cards is a win or a loss. It does not become emotional after a losing hour. It does not double its bet because it feels insulted. It knows it has an edge over a large sample of events. Individual outcomes are irrelevant. What matters is consistent execution over time. Now look at your behavior. You focus on the next trade, the next candle, the next result. You treat each outcome as if it must validate your intelligence. When it doesn't, you feel destabilized. You either tighten up or overreact. The professional mindset is built on probability thinking. This means you genuinely accept that any individual trade can lose. Not intellectually, emotionally. You place the trade with predefined risk, and once it is placed, the outcome no longer threatens your identity. The market does not care about your opinion. It only reflects collective behavior. When you apply this truth, trading becomes quieter. You execute your plan. You let the trade play out. If it wins, you record it. If it loses, you record it. There is no drama, no internal negotiation, no personal meaning attached. You stop asking, will this one work? You start asking, did I execute my edge? That shift is everything. Because when your focus moves from outcome to process, fear begins to dissolve. Not because uncertainty disappears, but because you are no longer resisting it. This is the foundation of professional trading. Picture yourself on a random Tuesday morning. You open your platform. The charts are moving. The numbers are changing. The amateur version of you is already slightly tense. You are scanning for opportunity, but beneath that scanning is hope. You want today to be green. You want proof that you are improving. Every tick feels personal. When price moves toward your entry, your breathing shifts. When it moves away, doubt creeps in. You take a trade. It goes against you. Your mind immediately searches for reasons. Maybe the time frame is wrong. Maybe the news will reverse it. Maybe you should hold a little longer. You feel pulled into the screen. You are reacting to every fluctuation. The market feels alive, almost confrontational. It feels like something is happening to you. Now picture the professional mindset. The same Tuesday, the same charts, the same movement. But internally, there is space. You are not scanning for validation. You are scanning for alignment with your rules. When a setup appears, you calculate the risk. You accept it before you click, not after, before. If the trade loses, there is no internal argument. The loss was included in the plan from the beginning. It does not surprise you. It does not offend you. It does not provoke you. The market does not care about your expectations, so you stop having them. The amateur hopes the market will cooperate, The professional knows it does not have to. The amateur trades to feel right. The professional trades to execute correctly. The amateur experiences emotional highs and lows tied to every result. The professional experiences stability because no single trade defines anything. And here is the irony. The professional is not robotic. He feels freedom. Because when you truly accept uncertainty, you no longer fight it. You operate within it. You trust your process over a series of trades, not a single one. The difference is not intelligence. It is relationship to risk. So now the question is not whether trading feels like gambling. The question is why you are still approaching it like a gambler. When you enter a trade, are you fully accepting the risk? Or are you secretly hoping the market will protect you from discomfort? When you move your stop, are you managing the trade? Or are you avoiding the emotional impact of being wrong? When you take profits early, are you following your plan? Or are you escaping the anxiety of uncertainty? And when you revenge trade, who are you really trying to defeat? The market does not care about your frustration. It does not care about your need to win back what you lost. You are not fighting the market. You are confronting your own beliefs about loss, control, and identity. If trading still feels like gambling, it is because you are measuring success by individual outcomes. As long as you do that, every trade will feel like a verdict on you. And verdicts create pressure. Pressure creates distortion. Distortion creates inconsistency. Professional trading begins the moment you shift your definition of success. Success is not a winning trade. Success is flawless execution of your edge. Success is accepting risk without emotional negotiation. Success is thinking in probabilities when your instincts demand certainty. This is why trading is not about money. Money is simply the scoreboard. It reflects the quality of your thinking over time. What trading truly exposes is your relationship with uncertainty, your ability to remain neutral, your willingness to accept what is. You can continue chasing certainty, or you can learn to operate within uncertainty without fear. The choice has always been yours. This is not about the market. It is about who you decide to become.